This is a bit of a follow-on video from the last one where I introduced my new bandsaw. This time I'm going to make some modifications to my workbench. I don't have a lot of room in the shed, and at the moment I have got the saw just sitting on my small welding table. I've got the welding table from Hare and Forbes, and it's only a small one on wheels that I can move around the shop, but because it's so small I don't really have room to sit anything on top of it. So what I'm going to do this time is make an extension for the table and hopefully mount the saw on the end of the table for two reasons. One, it gives me a place to store it, and the second is I've got a bit of a platform to run steel through the saw. At the moment, because the saw has got a fairly high vise on it, it's very difficult to get steel to lay flat without packing it up on the other end. So this way I'll be able to use the bench as a stand to feed the metal through the saw, and hopefully it'll make the job a lot easier. So this is my bench with the saw sitting on top of it, and as you can see it's quite crowded. I've got bottles and clamps on one end, and on the other end I've got some grinders hanging off, and on the back I've got a place to keep a few bits and pieces, clamps and whatnot, and some more of my bigger grinders on there. So what I'm hoping to do is take the saw from here, take this bit of gear off here and make a base, and make the base come out from here, and then I can mount the saw down and use the tabletop as a piece for the clamp here. Right, so we'll get on with it and start making up the bits and pieces. I'm just going to make it out of angle iron, and it should hopefully make life a little bit easier in the workshop. Alright, first off I've got to get some measurements of the base of the saw, so I know exactly how much or how big I need to make it. And it's 480 long and it is 280 wide. Alright, so this was a typical little workshop job that everybody does around the workshop, just to make my portable bandsaw a bit easier to use. And as you can see, it sits nicely on the bench. It's nice and solid, keeps it off the floor, and when I need to use it, it's sitting nice and level with the bench. I used my Ryobi die grinder to clean up some of the little welds, especially on the insides of the squares where it's really hard to get anything else into. That's very handy. Now the welder I used is my Unimig Viper 185 3-in-1 machine. I use it generally with flux core wire. The gas I use is argon, and that's useful when I'm doing any TIG work. It's an absolutely great welder, good for the price, and something to help me get into TIG welding. So that's just a few of the general bits and pieces I used around the workshop just to do this little job. And as you can see, all of the tools are what we would class as budget tools. Ryobi. The Unimig's not really budget, but it's in the lower end of the price of good quality welders, and I highly recommend it. It's a absolutely fantastic bit of machinery. So that's another job out of the way, and hopefully you can see how I did a job that just about everybody ends up doing around the workshop, and the tools I used.